Hey everybody, welcome to the Captain Trucker channel. Happy New Year. If this is your first time, please subscribe. If you're coming back, welcome back. So I want to talk in this video a little bit about reasons why you should not move to the Philippines in 2024 if your whole goal is simply to save money as a retiree. So, ladies and gentlemen, or mostly men I should say, yeah, it's true, like the consumer prices are less in the Philippines, okay? And, you know, if you use your brain and you're frugal and practical, yes, you can save money, absolutely. This is my room I gotta clean, actually. As you can see, I'm very organized here. This is a reflection of my current mindset, and that's why we're cleaning things up for the new year. But anyway, yeah, you can save money in the Philippines, ladies and gentlemen. But you got to be careful because, like, a lot of the older retirees who have never been outside of America, and like they've only been maybe to like parts of Mexico or Canada, they really don't know what to expect in these countries. And you know, sometimes like the vacation vloggers have painted kind of a cute, rosy picture of this country. Don't get me wrong, it is cute and rosy. But there's, you know, another side to this place. It's called like collective depression poverty. And even if you're living in a high-rise and staying on the 30th floor, and if you never leave, so to speak, your environment does affect you, okay? But the reason I'm telling people not to move here just to save money is because a lot of guys that do that, they end up being disappointed. Because there has been an illusion sold over the years to a lot of Western men that you can live like a king off your Social Security check and stuff like that. You know, $1,300, $1,500 a month. Yeah, and if that's your goal to like be a king in these countries, especially if you think being a king is just all financial, you could be in for some disappointments, all right? And like a lot of guys that end up in those situations, they end up complaining about like the bureaucracy. Hello, Happy New Year. They end up complaining about the bureaucracy. They end up complaining about the infrastructure. They complain about the culture. They complain about the women because they're not used to living in these types of countries, man. This is like island life. It's not an industrial country, okay? So things don't like move the same way. People aren't necessarily going to cater to you if you throw a few pesos around, so to speak. Well, some will. But, you know, the government won't move faster for you, right? I remember I met this British guy. I told this story before, and he was an older man married to a younger Filipina. Not like super young. It wasn't like, you know, ridiculous age gap, grandfather robbed in the cradles type of thing. I think she was like in her 40s and he was like in his late 70s or something. And this guy had a tough life, man. I think he was like on some kind of disability. He got injured at work, hurt his back or something like that. So he was in a pretty tough condition. So my heart goes out to him. But, you know, he was complaining about how long it was taking to get his visa for his SRRV, I think it was. There was some kind of mistake on the application. There was like a clerical mistake. So he had to pay a lawyer to get it fixed. And so I asked him, I said, well, how much did you have to pay the lawyer? And he said, 1,000 pesos, which is like, you know, 20 US dollars. I mean, where in the world can you get any lawyer to do anything for $20, you know? And yet the man's gonna complain. But this is what I'm saying, is like, you generally do like sort of overall like pay for what you get in life, right? In terms of material stuff, all right? Now don't get me wrong, like I said, the cost for like materials, the cost for food is like significantly less, and the food is good here, okay? That's definitely a huge plus. And the cost for housing materials is the same too. Or not the same, it's better or less expensive, but you know, maybe the quality of the materials isn't always the same. You know, you tend to get like cracks in the foundations and so forth. And it's not always perfect. A lot of concrete tends to get cracks. I'm not like a housing expert, but I just know that the quality of the material relatively isn't necessarily the same. Like I'm building a house right now, just a small house, for about, you know, $23,000. And, you know, there's gonna get geckos in the house. We're gonna have cracks in the foundation. And then next door, you'll have like what I call the shacks, so to speak. And so, yeah, life can vary out here. What can I say? But I mean, as a retiree, man, like at this point in life, like if you're, the reasons you should come to the Philippines is if you love a Filipina, you know, find a good relationship, love the culture, be involved in the community, you know what I mean? Go for the travel experience, the adventure. You know, it's almost like, think of it as like luxurious camping or something, you know? You want to go live rough and tumble. You want to kind of shake your life up, get out of those middle class comforts of being an American, you know what I mean? Get out of that matrix consumerism trap. So it's one thing it's sad to see is like our people, us middle class Americans, are notorious consumers for wasting money, right? You see so many of the middle class get caught in debt, paying for mortgages they can't afford, paying for cars they can't afford, okay? And that really creeps up on people, man, like the compound interest, and they get in debt and they have to work 24/7, and that's a very stressful life, man. So if you can get debt free and come to the Philippines, I'd say try to stay debt free and just get used to living frugal, okay? I mean, I'm debt free, but it wasn't easy to get there, you know what I mean? Like I had to make real comfort sacrifices, man. I used to sleep in a car for like a year and a half, and then I slept in a semi truck over the road, and I still do. Because I'm not retired, I'm only 40, I still work. Technically don't have to, but I mean, it's like I'm still young and I should work, you know, but then my point is like, you know, when a man gets his like first pile of money, he tends to go out and start buying stuff, right? Especially consumers. So many Americans I know, like I said, end up buying cars and just basically stuff they don't need, stuff they can't afford. So if you can not do that, you can be in a good position, okay? And you can build a house in the Philippines. I mean, you're not gonna be able to own the land, your wife will. And there's like ways to do it to sort of, but it's kind of sketchy. But I mean, just don't come here with the mentality that like you're gonna live like a king off $1,400 and that, you know, life's just gonna be some retiree pleasure work, because it's not the case, all right? And I would recommend people at minimum have like $2,000 US per month to be able to throw around to be able to live off here, especially for retirees, okay? That way you can, you know, rent somewhere decent, have food to eat, go to nice restaurants if you want, travel around the islands as well. You know, go out, do fun things, buy knickknacks and stuff, and also be able to pay for your health care, right? Because health care is a big deal for a lot of retirees. So, yeah, and I agree, and I've heard a few other people say this, like, and I've done this, all right? Like, if you think you're gonna come here and live off like $800 a month, and I've lived here with like $500 a month. Yeah, it's possible, it is, okay? But it is pretty rough as far as your lifestyle. Like, if you do the province thing, you know what I mean? I was doing $500 because I already had a place built, all right? So I was just like, mostly hanging out at the house, but even with that you can still go out a little bit, and you can probably even travel a little bit too, but just be mindful of that. And I just, at that point in your life, guys, as a retiree, like I wouldn't be thinking you're going to be too comfortable off $800 a month or $500. So I mean, don't do it. I mean, I would say really don't even do $1,200. I think $2,000 is the minimum sweet spot, all right? And if you can do more, obviously do more. But like I said, I mean, I meet Americans here that like, I'll get comments on my channel like, what are you talking about? You can't live in the middle. He's like, dude, I spend $4,000 a month here. And he's like, he goes, 300 of that is just for Bo's coffee. I mean, it's like, damn, man. Like, we're notorious for wasting money in our own country, and then we come to the Philippines and we continue wasting money. I mean, you don't need $4,000 a month here. All right, to be comfortable. So there's that too. And then there's like the McMillionaires. There's guys that like to throw around their money and pretend that they're rich, and that's fine, that's your business, but watch out for the mentality though. Because like I said, you know, this whole king mentality that's being sold in the West, and I don't know, what do you call it, the colonial mentality and other stuff like that, is like, you can end up with some pretty grumpy retirees who might be disappointed. So just come prepared, man. And just have the right expectations, and just, like I said, come here because you want the experience and you're in love with the Filipino. Get involved in the community. Be a good man. Don't be the expat that comes here and complains and just negative, you know? I mean, because I can do that too. I mean, I can go both ways on that. I can be the happiest camper, that I can be the most miserable prick on the block, but I'd prefer to be like a happy person and surrounded with positive people, you know? So just be good to yourself and be good to the people around you. And that's my advice for moving to the Philippines in 2024. So anyway, stay tuned, guys. Please subscribe if you can. I'm going to Sapale soon, going back to Sugar Beach, and I really want to get my mind and body together. I got kind of sloppy in recent weeks on my diet, and I really want to tighten it up. I want to start getting healthy. I want to get spiritually in a good place. I want to get my prayer life back on track. So I appreciate, you know, all you guys out there. And let's have a good New Year. Let's do it together, all right? It's Captain Trucker. Please subscribe. You all take care. Be safe. Bye-bye.